Welcome to the Electric Current Rundown Podcast, episode number 4. I'm your host, Phil Defiance, and I'll always say I'm here to encourage the spread of intriguing knowledge that can spark fires in the minds of those seeking inspiration and truly improving the world. But okay, so the topics I'm going to be talking about in this episode today include a continuation of what I left off at on my last episode about a global natural gas boom that's starting to happen. And I'll continue on that like I said I would. And then also, I'm going to talk about food recalls, like an absurd amount lately, and it's really strange. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about is theories on mysterious dark matter, but nothing concrete being found, so a new unique approach being applied. So, okay, talking about a global natural gas boom. I mean, this all started happening even before Trump's re-election, so this is going to get even bigger now. And so, watch, natural gas prices are going to drop a lot in the next few years. Like, it's going to be crazy. Because there's countries all over the planet that have had new discoveries of natural gas, so that was what was fueling it originally, even before that re-election of Trump. And now, of course, America's gonna step it up, so it's gonna be a crazy boom. Prices are gonna drop in the next few years. But still, at the same time, like I alluded to in the last episode, there are other factors like the Ukraine war. Obviously, that war is also gonna be a little bit different now under Trump's presidency, but we'll wait to see what happens there. But you already get a feeling of where that's going, but still that's a factor even if there's peace formed over there. So because of that, that too will affect some of the natural gas situation across the planet. But overall, over the next 5 years, there definitely will be a big natural gas boom. So, that's what's going to happen. That's what the reports say. So, other than that, now, I'm going to switch topics to food recalls happening in an absurd amount. It's insane what's been happening throughout the last several months. I don't know how this has happened. It's crazy. My girlfriend's scared of eating food. And not only that, so many people must be affected by it too. It's absurd amounts. I've never seen recalls like this in the past. I don't know what's the justification for it. I read an article about how the government's been saying that they improved their methods of testing for food, and also there's also recalls for other things too. So I think that there's also an element of an attack against capitalism. It's what's going on? But the most retarded part about it is about the food. Obviously I mentioned my girlfriend, so there's obviously lots of people out there that are feeling similar to her. Scared to eat food. And I really think that there's something suspicious going on. I don't know what's going on with it. It's crazy. Why is it that all of a sudden there's so many food recalls? They claim that it's got something to do with more advanced technology, but even if the technology were more advanced, this is more recalls than ever before. I remember a few years ago there was maybe 5-10 notable recalls at the very most in a given year, but in the last year, it's been over 100, a couple hundred of them, every single day. The phone's getting inundated with new recall information, and it's I don't know what's going on, but there's definitely something suspicious about it. I don't know why. It's craziness. People are literally getting afraid to eat. But okay, so I'm gonna continue on that topic in just a moment after this break. But okay, so on this break, I'm gonna just say this quickly right here. Plain Bold Clothing. Live life to the fullest. What happened the last time you went to a party? While on a great adventure, you'll be the life of the party with clothing like our authentic Plain Goose items. You'll get exuberant designs you'll need. We usually have some sales, so you can save money too. Be like a goose on a plane on a flight to a great adventure. Go to plainbold.com today. That's plain, like airplane, plainbold.com. But okay, so back to the topic at hand. So what I'm saying though is that these food recalls are just like insane. I mean, it's driving people crazy. I mean, food, you can't live life without it. Like, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are like avoiding a lot of foods now because of all these recalls. And like, I mean, well, I mean, like I said, you can't live life without food. You'll starve, that's why. But on top of that, I mean, there's another factor too, like scurvy, like a lack of vitamin C, but not just vitamin C and scurvy. I mean, other vitamins as well, like malnutrition. I mean, people avoiding food is just going to lead to people getting malnutrition. And I mean, I'm in Toronto, in Canada. And like, I mean, I even heard a report in like Alberta. There's like some people that are getting scurvy now. I mean, like, can you imagine in a developed country like Canada, like people getting scurvy? I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Scurvy, malnutrition. I mean, and I'm sure that's happening to people in the States too. People like afraid to eat because there's been so many recalls lately. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, it's the government just messing with people's heads. Like, I mean, there's no way that there's really this many like cases of E. coli and listeria and all this stuff that they're reporting. There's no way. I mean, this is just craziness. And then even at the beginning of this year, they were even talking about bird flu and how it's a concern with like chickens, chicken eggs, and even cows. So that was connected to all of this too. I mean, like, it's like an attack on the food supply. I mean, like, this is crazy. People are starting to get afraid to eat. And I really believe that this is like suspicious as hell. And I don't believe that this new technology is a reason for it. I think that they're actually lying about it. And like all of this E. coli and listeria and all this hysteria that's all that it is. It's hysteria. I mean, people shouldn't believe this. There's no way that there's so much food recalls and so many issues with different kinds of foods. It's like ridiculous. And then on top of that, as I referenced too, I mean, there's even recalls for other things as well. And I don't think that that's accurate either. Like, I don't think it's proper. And plus, on top of it, like, I even heard of a recall for like the company Costco's butter. I mean, like, and what was the reason? Because they didn't label that it had milk content. I mean, come on. That's butter. Obviously, butter has milk content. So how are they getting recalled for that? Like, that's just insane. Like, this is an attack on the food supply, a psychological warfare operation, trying to mess with people's heads, trying to make people have malnutrition. And it's also an attack on capitalism, even in the sense of the recalls that are happening to the non-food items. So there's just something very extremely suspicious going on. That's definite. It's becoming obvious, and people should definitely wake up to this, because this is just craziness, and it better stop soon. People should start making noise about it. But okay, so I mean, as I get closer to the end of my 15-minute episode, I mean, yeah, I'm at 9.5 minutes. So like, I mean, the next thing I'm going to talk about is theories on mysterious dark matter, but nothing concrete being found, so a new unique approach being applied. So I mean, it's actually a unique situation on that topic. But okay, I'm gonna get right into that right after this quick break. And so I'm just going to say real quick right here how great it is watching videos that really get at topics that interest you, that are to the point, entertaining and informative, intrigue and excite you, and much more. Watch videos like that at Currently Electrifying Videos on YouTube. With us, you'll be impressed and you'll want to come back for more. You'll want to personally give us a diamond-crusted gold trophy for what we create. So check out Currently Electrifying Videos today. And then, okay, so now, I'm going to talk about dark matter, like I was talking about, like how I just referenced. And so, I mean, for many years now, they've been trying to figure this stuff out. I mean, like, because they first started really theorizing about it, these scientists, I mean, they started really theorizing about it in the early 80s. And, I mean, they've been trying to find, like, strong evidence about it ever since then, using advanced experiments, like at that place called CERN, which is a, like, hydrogen molecule collider over there in Europe. And despite all the experiments they've been doing, and it's not just there, they've obviously tried other places, but that was the main place. And despite all of that, they haven't found one piece of hard evidence about it. And so, I mean, they're now thinking about looking at alternative ways to, like, find evidence of it. And, I mean, one scientist at the city of Toronto, the university, decided to figure out a new way to look into it, because there are, like, more than one conceptual ideas about, like, what dark matter is really like, I mean, when it comes down to its core essence. And like, I mean, the main scientists that have been looking into it have been looking at a specific, like, form of it. And I mean, there's another form, I mean, because in the theory. And I mean, because, like, the one they've been trying to figure out, like at CERN, at that hydrogen collider, was the main theory. And now they're looking at an alternative theory related to the same thing, that's dark matter. And that is about how, like, they're theorizing that this dark matter is, like, going through the universe at, like, really fast speeds, and, like, in, like, clumps, like as big as a golf ball, maybe even a baseball, or something in between those two objects. And it's just like condensed matter. And, like, I mean, they theorize that this condensed dark matter is going through the universe and our solar system even, and sometimes it even goes through our planet. And so this one scientist or group of scientists theorize that if this is really true, there should be evidence of it in the form of straight lightning bolts. Because if it goes through the earth during a major storm, then lightning will strike at, like, a straight line, an unusually straight line, because the dark matter energy would actually guide the electricity from the storm to go down in a straight path. I mean, because that's the way that the dark matter would be going into the earth. And so, I mean, now they're trying to figure out, like, fine-tune their cameras to, like, be able to detect this kind of lightning. And so let's find out what happens when it comes to that. At the same time, I mean, I don't know, maybe there's no such thing as dark matter, and maybe they got it all wrong, but let's see what happens with that. I do find it to be quite fascinating, though, and who knows, let's see where that goes. So that's why I decided to talk about it, because I found it to be kind of a fascinating topic. But okay, then. So that's all I have to say for this episode of the Electric Current Rundown, episode number 4 right here. And I'll just say that, well, I'll always say I'm here to encourage the spread of intriguing knowledge that can spark fires in the minds of those seeking inspiration and truly improving the world. So that's it for this episode, and that's me, Phil Defiance. Stay tuned for more episodes as they come out, and this week I plan to create probably maybe even 2, at least 1 more bonus episode, so stay tuned for those or that. Okay, well, have a good one.